The final is set at Roland Garros for the women, and Mira Andreeva will be facing Chwalinska from Poland. It's going to be an interesting one, and this is our preview.
That's right, it's the final of Roland Garros, and the lady that JG doubted said that she could never make it. Well, look at her now. I didn't even have her predicted to go to the final either, but she's proved both of us wrong, and I'm so happy that she has. We have Maya Chwalinska into the final, 114 in the world, came through the qualifying, and now she faces the hottest young prospect on the tour of the women's. It is Mira Andreeva, who made short work of Marta Kostyuk out there on court and got her revenge, because obviously she just lost to her fairly recently. This was a beautiful performance, I would say, from Mira Andreeva, and that's where I think we should start. It was the first match of the day, and she came out the traps very, very quickly, didn't let the nerves get to her, and handled the conditions like a seasoned pro. And it looked like Kostyuk was nervous. She didn't understand how to play in the wind. She looked like she was rushing her shots more than Mira Andreeva, who just took her time. Managed to just move her around the court in very, very astute tactical ways throughout the rallies. And I thought it was, one of her best, if not her best performance of the whole entire tournament.
Yeah, she was remarkable, and I think the best place for me to start is really how terribly I did with the semi-final predictions. I know people are going to be pulling me up for it, and I've got to have some accountability. I've got it terribly wrong on both matches. As you'll know, I got both predictions wrong for the final. Didn't expect either of these two girls to be here. I think the Mira Andreeva one, I was a little 50-50, but I did just edge Kostyuk. And Andreeva's class. And well done to you, because I think you did slightly better than me in the predictions. And it makes a change. It's nice to see you beating me in a prediction video, because there's very few in which you can do it. Quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals, Grand Slams. You're always a little bit off the pace. So you've done well with that one. And I've got a lot to say about Chwalinska, because I think in hindsight I was definitely a little bit too critical. But I'm not really backtracking on everything I said. I do stand by a lot of them comments. But before we get to that, Mira Andreeva, what an opportunity for her. It's a massive one. In a tournament without Rybakina, Iga, or Sabalenka in the final, she's going to have to play a lady who started the tournament outside the top 100 in her first Grand Slam final. She'll be a big favourite. Is the nerves going to get on top of her? Of course, she's only 19 years old. You've got to remember that.
Yep.
And we've seen her crying on court, mentally, the ups and downs of her and her coach, the arguments, this and that. Is she going to be able to hold all of that together? Because technique-wise in her game, you know, I've been one of her big fans. I'm a massive admirer of Mira Andreeva. She's one of my favourite women on tour. And that's why I think some people were slightly surprised I didn't have her winning in the semi-final. I don't know if you was as well, because I do usually pick her to win most matches. But this time in the final, I think she should have just too much. Famous last words.
It is famous, and it is what we've been saying throughout the tournament against Chwalinska as well. It's a worrying match, really, because all the pressure is on Mira Andreeva. She is going to be the big favourite. She just beat Kostyuk, who was on a 17-0 winning streak on clay in 2026 coming into that match. She did it in convincing fashion. French Open is the one, though, which we said, if Mira Andreeva is going to win her first slam, we reckon it's going to be the French, because she got to the semi-finals 2 years ago, got to the quarterfinals last year. She just loves it on this surface. It sort of neutralizes the power differential that she doesn't have against those big players. And we don't have those big players in right now. The one thing that's interesting, though, is that she's not playing anyone with big power in the final. She's playing somebody who's just a real puzzle, a real tactical player who plays everything completely different to anyone else on the tour. Different paces, different spins, different heights, different directions, loads of different things going on when you're playing against Maya Chwalinska. And that's going to be difficult to come up against because she's never played her before as well. And I think everybody's suffered. Look what happened in the match earlier on today. I mean, we've got some other stats we're going to go through with Mila Andreeva as well. But this match against Dinah Schneider, I think everybody saw the way she played against Saba and just thought, well, if you've beaten the world number one in such convincing fashion, 6-love in the third, surely this should be like a cakewalk for you. It was far from it, and all of the mixes of the moon balls and the different paces and moving her left to right to she just looked a bit confused at times out there, Dinah Schneider. And I think credit to Chwalinska because the fact she got to a tie break and still she looks very calm. She doesn't seem to ever rush anything. She's always playing within herself. She's not letting the moment get to her. And I think for somebody of her level outside the top 100 coming in, it's remarkable. That's what I was nothing short of it.
Yeah, I'm going to try and give a bit more of a measured approach, more so than yesterday. And I agree with you. Her attitude and her calmness on court is commendable for someone with such little experience on at the top table in the big tournaments. She handles herself extremely well in all moments, break points, facing break points, critical times of the set. She's very assured in her tennis. Her tennis, though, is something which is just not going to translate to winning big events. I'm sorry. And I'm going to stand by that. As much as I'll be a little bit more measured, watching her again today, the balls don't have much pace on at all. It's simply just looping them into corners, playing in a very different tactical way. And I've seen some commentary saying it's refreshing. People are liking the
Yeah.
style because I was trying to see what other people thought of it. I just look at it and think this can only work on a clay court. I just don't see how it works on any other surface. I think on a grass court, she's going to get beaten up badly, and won't have many opportunities to even be able to play and beat big players. I'll be surprised if she goes through even a round at Wimbledon. But on the clay, it certainly does work. So is she going to base a career on just doing well on the clay courts? It's not a bad thing to do. Our players going to start working it out and finding a way to beat her? I think so. Defensively, she's incredible. She's extremely fast. She is a really fast sort of counter puncher of a tennis player who lulls the opponent into hitting big and beating in the right spot at the right time to then lob the opponent to do a little cheeky slice
She
or
resets the rally
uh,
as well, doesn't she?
yeah, she can she can absorb so much pressure, and I've got to give her her respects for doing that because this is where I need to be a bit more measured than yesterday. Doesn't make her a bad player. I think I've definitely went overboard, and it wasn't some right comments to make. It's an extremely talented tactical style, which I don't think is sustainable over a career. But for now, it seems to be working. And yeah, she is someone who's found a gap in the market, exactly like Arsenal. Arsenal have just won the Premier League through being a lot more physical and dominating weaknesses of set pieces. And they've capitalized that and they've won the Premier League. I feel like Valinska, she's looked at the women's tour, she's seen all of these big hitters playing this same style of tennis. And her style of tennis is very different to everyone else. And it relies on consistency and playing more percentages and playing a chess battle as opposed to out hitting and overpowering. And when you've got so many players doing one thing, I think there's a massive opportunity and a gap for a style of player like this because the ladies who I've just mentioned who are hitting this big brand of tennis, they're so much more prone to making mistakes. And when you have an opponent who keeps bringing that ball back consistently and keep making you move as well because she's putting it everywhere on the court, deep moon balls. These players aren't able to hit through it like they want to. They're resulting into playing more moon ball style tennis. It's not their game. It's getting in their head. They're getting rattled. They're getting impatient. It's a very clever tactic, and that's all. That's what she's playing at the moment. She's not beating players by being a better tennis player in terms of technique and real power and precision. It's a tactical exchange which is working for her, and it seems to be perfect for this moment. Mira Andreeva would have watched what she's seen so far. If she comes with a good game plan, it's difficult to see how she doesn't win.
Maybe, but we've said it once and we've said it again. And I think some of the tactics that she does use, I think precision is something that she does have. I think the use of her drop shot and then the lob that she's been doing pretty much for majority of this tournament, it's a real a struggle if you're not a good mover around the court and you can't get to that drop shot, and when you do, you just get lobbed afterwards. I mean, she's got a really controlled lob, but the amount of moon balls she does, it's essentially just another lob anyway. So, and the fact that she was down 4-2 in the tiebreak, she won 5 points in a row to take that first set. Just very, very impressed. I think she just should be very, very proud of herself. Come all the way through qualifying, the first lady to do so, obviously since Emma Raducanu, but at the US Open, and they're the only two in the Open era who have done it. I think that Schneider will be disappointed with herself. 36 unforced errors and didn't look her best. I think the big three say it best here. One day you beat Sabalenka 6-love in the third, winning 11 of the last 12 games. The next day you're out in straight sets to the world number 114, toughest sport in the world. And yeah, it is. It's a weird sport, but this is what everybody loves about tennis. You get these lovely stories like this one, and she has changed her life at Roland Garros. Her total career earnings were $860,000. And so far this tournament, she's earned $1.6 million. So she's doubled her lifetime earnings within 2 weeks, which is fantastic. And she didn't actually, I think, who was it? Gaspar Espirio Lanza said 7 weeks ago, he was there at a press conference asking her about the combination of her outfits with different brands, because she said, I'm not sponsored currently, so I just wear whatever I like. Now she's definitely going to get a sponsor, which is brilliant as well. So even more money on the table for her. And I think rightly so. If you've got yourself all the way here, she seems like a likable character. Everybody's cheering her on from the stands because she's the underdog story as well. Mira Andreeva, all the pressure's on her. So that's the one good thing for Chwalinska coming in, is she doesn't have that pressure. She's just pretty much happy to be there, I think.
Yeah, but surely you've got to be looking at it thinking, like, do you think she can be good on other surfaces apart from clay?
I know. I said that in the last. I said that before the semi-final. I think clay has her game's suited to clay. It really is. I think that the way that's why she's able to keep the ball in play so much, is because the ball sits up for so much longer. And maybe I know I had a look through her opponents. She hasn't really played many really tall players, which I think has been assisting her with this drop shot lob combination that she's been really good at. I mean, Sakkari, quite small. Dinah Schneider, quite small as well. That is helpful if you are wanting to move people around the court and lob them as well. I mean, Mila Andreeva's not the tallest either, so it might be effective. I think she's faster than some of the other ones, though. So that might be the one thing that she doesn't have on her side. You can't let Chwalinska dictate rallies, because if she does, she starts just knocking it side to side into the net. You'll have done a lot of miles, and you could find yourself a set down and then fighting for your life.
Yeah, looking at titles she's won in the past, she won in Awareness, a challenger this
Oi.
year. That was her biggest win before Montreux Challenger 2025. That was also on clay.
Hmm.
Then another one in Brazil on clay. Porto on a hard court, which is quite impressive. An ITF, though, that was. Then aside from that, just a few other ITF. So she's still got some good results on hard courts as well. But I don't think when I say good results, they're results of players outside the top 100. I don't see her doing and winning a big tournament with players a lot better than that. But who knows? This is only going to give her a lot of confidence, and she'll be super pleased with what she's been able to do. Of course, her players come from all the way through the qualifying. There was a stat. I don't know if I sent it to you. It was a really good one,
I'll
actually.
have a look.
But I'll try and have a look in a second. But let's read this one. So Andreeva is the 5th youngest woman singles finalist at Roland Garros in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Got Coco Gauff there as well.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, it's crazy. Even though she seems younger for some reason, I don't know why, Miranda. I think it's maybe just the way that she carries herself with this youthful energy and like sometimes a little bit childish, but it's all good fun and games. I quite like it. I don't think these stats. It's great to have them here. We've got some more. Look, I mean, at 19 years, 36 days, she's reached her first Slam final. Then it's like Pam Shriver did it at 16 years, 55 days. There's so many people who have done it before her, but I still think that she has the ability to go on to potentially win more slams than a lot of these ladies on the screen. I'm probably not Steffi Graf and Serena Williams, but maybe some of the others that are on that list, because I think she's that good. I think that she really could be, once she's got the power into her game, I think we're going to see her start to go deeper at the hard court slams as well. And that's where it gets exciting, when they start, you see players evolving their game to sort of transfer it into the other slams. If she becomes a contender at the Australian Open, at US Open, it's going to make the women's tour so much more interesting, because I think that the younger generation are coming up are going to learn so much from her as well.
Yeah, I mean, her ranking's insane, by the way. I don't know if you've seen. She had a new career high of 113. And now I can't believe what I'm reading actually.
Chwalinska.
She's jumped all the way to 21 in the world.
Amazing.
Is that right? This is insane. She has moved all the way up to 21 in the world, making the Roland Garros final. You've got Coco Gauff dropping so many points too, by the way. She's actually gone from second to, I don't know if she was second, she's right up there, to 7th in the world, Coco.
Yep. Dropped down. Mira Andreeva has now overtaken her by making the final. She's now up to 6. And if Mira Andreeva was to win the final, she would stay there. Well, so she wouldn't get in, and she'd be quite close to Anisimova though. And bear in mind, Anisimova is going to be defending a hell of a lot of points coming up. Obviously, making, was it the final of Wimbledon last year? So that'll be the next point she would be defending. And who knows, Mira Andreeva, she might suddenly come good on the grass as well. I think she's someone who can translate across all surfaces. I fully believe she's going to be a multi-surface player.
Yeah, we've got Mboko at the moment on the grass playing with Serena Williams. Something to mention. Serena making a comeback to tennis. Let's see how that one goes. We've not really had any thoughts from you about it. You don't seem that pleased.
I don't think it's real.
It is real.
Yeah, but for how long? What if she's actually going to come back?
Well, we saw her enter the anti-doping pool a few months ago. So there's always this speculation that she's going to start playing tennis again.
I just think just leave it.
Can she win anything?
I mean, when did we last see her? I think wasn't it when like Tomjanovic was beating her at the Australian Open or so. It was just sad. The whole thing is just not nice watching when you've got these legends who just end up getting beaten, and then their opponent just gets booed because all they want to see is like her win one more match.
She get a wild card into Wimbledon.
She'll probably get a wild card wherever she wants.
So do you reckon she'll be playing Wimbledon?
Get a wild card into the Six Kings Slam if she wants. She wants a payday.
Yeah, let's see if she plays Wimbledon. I think she could do. Imagine she wins that. That'll be pretty cool.
I don't doubt that if she came back and she's fully fit, as long as she stayed on her feet and doesn't slip over in the first week, then she'll probably be all right. I remember when we were there and I asked her about that, and I was like, "How do you feel about them allowing you to practice on the centre court now?" And she was, yeah. I remember Rothenberg sitting there going, "Oh, good question." Yeah, yeah,
Good
funny
times.
memories.
Right, let's give some predictions for this one, and I'll let you go first since you're the expert at predictions these days.
Well, I feel like I'm far from an expert. I didn't have Chwalinska getting to the final from the semi-final, but have been quite big on her this tournament. But I think I said it earlier in the season that I think this year there's going to be something that changes for Mia Andreeva. The stars have sort of aligned for her in this tournament. The way she played in the semi-final, there was no prisoners there. And if she plays that same way against Chwalinska, I think she's she's got to win it. So I'm going to be going for Mila Andreeva to win it, and I think she'll do it in straight sets as well.
Really? You're not going to give Valinska a set?
Chwalinska wins it again. This is what's going to. I could see it where she goes up in the rankings once more. How much? Where does she end up if she wins it? Let's just have a quick look. So she should go up
No, she
to
go 14. I've seen
outrageous.
above Paulini. So I'm looking at Andreeva's slam record. Roland Garros semi-final 24, quarter-final 25, now final 26. It's definitely her best tournament, that one.
Yeah, I
She's
think
not very
so.
good at the US Open. She'd expect to have a better run, but she always gets through a few rounds, Fourth round yet again in the Australian Open.
Yep.
I agree. I think she is winning it, and I think it is going to be straight set. So I'm not going for no differential. I'm having Mira Andreeva to win this one in straight. As much as I'm trying to be a bit more positive about Valinska, it's clever what she's doing. It's somewhat interesting, I must admit. I don't think I'm bored watching her, but it's not sustainable. You're not going to win big titles playing that way. That's my view anyway.
So there you go, both locked in, both going for Andreeva in straight sets. Let us know in the comments who you are picking for the women's final. And let's just have a quick look at the scores on the doors. There it is, me ahead by 2. But as we know, you've now picked the exact same thing for the women's final. So we're going to be 2 in the differential come the men's final, which is still a winnable one for you. The thing is, if we both pick the same and then you just get it right and I only get the right result, then we're drawing. So it's quite close. There's still all to play for, and we don't know who's going to be in the men's final yet. That one, we've given our predictions. Go look at that video from yesterday, and then we will bring a men's final preview. It'll probably be tomorrow evening.
Okay, perfect. Thank you everyone for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you again tomorrow for the men's semi-finals.